Welcome to Two Guys Garage, and we're about to go rally car style today. A brand new project, our Mitsubishi Evo.
Yeah, man, as a muscle car owner, there's not one of us that hadn't sweated just a little bit when they see this guy in the rearview mirror.
That's right, because it's rally car inspired. It's got all-wheel drive. It's got a big turbo. It's ready to get turned up. So you guys stick around. We have some fun. You know what I really like about these cars, dude?
I don't know, they're fast.
They're fast, but they're sleepers. I mean, you hardly even notice they're on the freeway. You're just kind of cruising along, and all of a sudden, you know, somebody starts getting a little bit anxious, and bang! Especially like in the wet conditions, like snow. I mean, with the all-wheel drive and the turbo, these things are quite a combo.
Yes, they are. Now we're taking off the front clip here, basically, if you will, the front bumper valves, because we're trying to get through this radiator. We're going to change this out. This guy's going to go full rally in this thing. Now, you know he drives it hard because the thing came in with a smoked clutch. All right?
Oh, yeah. Did we get it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, not so bad. We're going to pull the front end apart. Now, this is a 2008. This is the first of the Evo 10.
Right, so it had a 4B11T motor. It was a new platform for Evo, and a lot of people on those new platforms, they got all scared. You saw some of the forums light up about this and that.
Because aluminum block versus the old iron block. So people are a little afraid to kind of boost them up as hard as they used to.
Well, the old platform, that 4G63, it really earned its reputation on the streets, man. It was a legitimate street warrior.
The whole package comes together. It's pretty scary. But like I said, it's cool that you could have maybe some kids in the back with a kid seat in there and some groceries. The next thing you know, spank somebody.
Right. Honey, step out. I'm going to handle this business real fast. All right, speaking of business, we're trying to get to this radiator, so we have a few more parts to take off.
You know, it's got a turbo on there, so it's just a matter of time before we get our little fingers on that thing and start turning up the dial. So grab some more tools and get this thing apart.
All right.
So I got one little screw out of here and a tab, and I can push down on these guys and start slide this thing right out, just like they slid it right in, and we can slide it right onto the new radiator.
Now, new radiator from Megan Racing, pretty cool. Right out of the gate, you see these nests, right? Just like the OE guys had. So it's going to make this application on a fan fit just like it was tailor-made.
That's cool. The same little bushings to hold it in the car.
Right.
Nice.
Same little saddles, same little clips. Everything just, boom, goes right over to this guy. Now, another thing you're going to notice are these aluminum tanks, right? Now, from the factory, it had plastic tanks, which tended to crack. Even these seals would break under a lot of boost. So a lot tougher guy right here. Let's get these fans on, slide it under the water neck. Get in there and there.
So those will slide in. We'll give them a little push, and the little bracket cinch it all down. Now let's put them side by side so you can see the difference here.
Really notice the difference. Now, if you notice from Megan Racing, the dual core one, obviously a lot thicker than this single core guy. We've got a cutout here to show you. So you're gonna have a lot more cooling capacity with this dual core one.
Yeah, and a lot of you old school hot rodders, you know about 4-core radiators.
Right.
Well, this is a dual core. Well, this dual core, they're a lot wider than the original stacked up 4, so this is a much better, more capable cooling system than the 4 cores, even though you hear the 2-core. You don't think it's as cool, but it is. Now let me show you why we're going to a bigger radiator in a car that's making, you know, just under 300 horsepower. Well, let's take a look, because this is where the radiator sits, and if you look right in front, it's another radiator. It's a condenser for the AC, so that's putting out hot air. Then you got this one over here, that's another radiator, which is the intercooler for the turbo and the boost. So the more power we make, the more heat's going to be extracted out of this intercooler and pushed right through. So there's a lot of heat going right into that radiator. So we have to make sure this thing is really efficient, and at the end of the day, it can pull out all the heat, especially with the power that we're going to add.
All right, just getting the finishing touches on our radiator. Got our top support back in hoses. I'll get that buttoned up. And when we come back, things that go, stick around. So welcome back. Let me show you some things that go make all the cool noises that we all appreciate when we're out there on the road. All right, so we have a new intercooler pipe from Synapse. Pretty cool stuff. Right out of the gate, you see it's a powder coated design, and unlike the stock stuff, it's not going to have all these points of failure. So let me show you. One of the things that we saw when we were taking out the radiator is this intercooler down pipe here. Now it was just coupled on here like so, right? Was just nothing more than a hose clamp. So as you see, we have some 3-ply silicone reducers, really tough stuff. See, these T-bolts are gonna hold a lot more clamping force than, let's just say, a hose clamp. Now, if you're at the track, which are you gonna trust? That or that? At the track, what a lot of guys find out, and they find out the hard way, is they turn up the wick on these things, and all these points of failure, that heat makes these things expand, all these couplings come off, and then they also gonna shut down the race. So we're gonna get this new Synapse intercooler pipe on. We got some other cool things that make you go too. Right, Kev?
That's right, man.
All right, let's see this guy. So
I got that hose started.
all right. You know, one thing I noticed about the Synapse intercooler pipe, they took out a lot of those factory bends, increased the volume in a lot of areas. So when this guy gets that turbo on there, that new one, it's gonna be happy.
Oh, heck yeah.
What's going on here?
All right, so we got our air box here, we got our MAF sensor,
Yep.
and we know we got a cold in and a compressed air coming out of the turbo, and we got obviously exhaust gas going in and out. So this is the cold side. So this is where we're feeding all the air in right into the turbo. It's sitting right back there. Let me get this out of the way. Now we've got the compressed air coming back through here to the intercooler, cooling down, and it's feeding right up here through the throttle body. Now you're building a lot of energy with that turbine, right? You're closing the wastegate, so you're forcing all that exhaust to get that turbine wheel spooled up. Well, then you got a lot of potential energy sitting in that compressor. Well, it's great when you got the throttle open. You just let it all slide right through.
But when it closes, what happens?
Bad juju, right? You're just slamming up against a stop. You got all this pressure built up, so you got to be able to blow it off somewhere. Well, that's what this valve is right here. So this is the pressure going into the engine, and this is a hose that's connected right to the same place, so I can bypass my engine and feed it right back into the turbo and just let it circulate. So let me pull off this guy here. We're going to show you how the old one works, and we're going to show you how the new one works. Okay, you guys ready for a little surgery, a little dissection here? So we'll walk you through. This is that high pressure hose, right? Connected right here, was going into the throttle. So I've got a lot of boost build up, and all of a sudden I close that throttle, it's got nowhere to go except my bypass. So I can bypass and put it right back through that turbo, right through the compressor, but I've got to get past this valve. Well, not a big deal, because over here I can put a vacuum line, and when I close the throttle, on the back side is going to be a lot of vacuum. That's going to actuate this valve. Let me show you how it works. So pressure here, there's my valve. I've got to get past that guy. Now what's keeping that thing closed, if I cut it open here, boom, this spring is sitting inside. It's got a lot of spring pressure, and it's keeping that valve closed until, pow, I open it up. I don't know if you can see in there, maybe up there. You can see that valve open and close. So that's how my actuation works. Now I have to have a pretty big diameter diaphragm here to create enough force, you know, once that vacuum starts pulling on it to lift that valve, but I need enough spring to hold it closed. So between the two, I got a lot of tension and compression and things going on. So unfortunately, what ends up happening is it's a really simple system, but it's just that. It's simple and it can't respond very fast, so it tends to be a little bit slow. So what we're gonna do is upgrade. So the upgrade is pretty cool. This is from Synapse Engineering. This is their synchronic diverter valve, recirculation valve, however you wanna call it. But what's cool about it is it's completely different technology. Now to start off, it's got different adapters. So this is a hose adapter. I can put it on both ends and I can put it right in this system. Let's look inside of this thing. Now it's pretty cool because it's, you know, anodized and it's blue and you can get different colors and you can trick it out. But what's neat about it is inside of here, there's no diaphragm. What they've done is come up with a very clever system of different ports, and those ports are machined in here and they act on different diameters, so different, you know, areas and different forces. So depending on how you plumb these ports, you can make this valve act faster or slower, a lot on how you drive. Do you lift throttle real quick when you shift, or do you kind of let off the throttle a little bit slower? So you can tune that part. Well, the other cool thing is this spring pressure is pretty soft. So by the way they've kind of ported and put pressures in places on both sides, they can make this actuate. So it's a really great way to get the drivability out of your boost system. Now we've got one more thing we're going to add. It's a boost gauge. Not such a new thing, but they've come out with a pretty cool way with a solenoid action. not only are you controlling when that valve opens to let off pressure when you close the throttle, but let's say you want to control peak boost pressure. This guy right here can put a peak boost pressure, so let's say you're just going wide open throttle, your turbo's building a lot of boost, but you don't want to destroy your engine. It's a really great safety net for keeping all those parts together, dialing it in and setting it just the way you want it. So let's get all this stuff together, get this thing on the road pretty soon.
You know, ignition coils have made a lot of advances through years. We got some sample coils from Denso. We're going to kind of walk you through those. All right, first we have the coil near plug. This is the coil on plug, and this is the Denso stick coil. So let's back up, take a look at each of them. This coil near plug still had spark plug wires playing in it, but this guy and this technology actually eliminated the distributor, shelved it, put it on the shelf. But was still, with the small ignition wires, you had better reliability. Then you jump on the coil on plug. Now this guy eliminated those phantom misfires you get with ignition wires. This actually attaches to the spark plug via a spring inside this rubber boot. Pretty good leap in investment there. And then you move up to the Denso stick coil. This guy came about in 1996, and Denso was actually the first company to use this cylindrical sort of ignition coil. And it actually takes up some wasted space in what would be the spark plug hole inside the head. Has a small driving circuit on top, so you get better ignition timing, faster, and that improves gas mileage. So here's some great sample coils, all available at Federated Auto Parts.
You know, normally when your warranty runs out on your car, it's kind of a sad day.
Yeah.
You know, but for a real car guy, it's kind of a joyous event.
Joyous event. Normally, you celebrate that day. You mark it down on your calendar because that's the day you can start ordering all the parts you really want.
Yeah, because you feel guilty maybe voiding your warranty, but after it's over, it's full on throttle, man.
Right.
All right, so we've got a few more upgrades on this thing. We got some wear on our rotors. We've got a nice thick lip going on. Our pads are worn down. So we've got some replacements, but we're thinking about street and track.
Yeah, man, to start us off, we got some nice rotors, some Disc Brake Australia. Now let's check these things out, okay? So it has kangaroo paw ventilation. Now basically what that is just pillar and post to help dissipate that heat, help that heat wick out, right? Also, we have a pretty cool universal T-slot design. Now what that means is you could run this rotor on this side of the car or the passenger side of the car as well. Not to mention it has a high carbon alloy, so this guy is going to be able to take heat for an extended period of time and still maintain great all kinds of brake pressure and pedal pressure at your feet.
Yeah, now speaking of heat, now if you run a street pad on a track, you can get a lot of heat in that pad and it'll start to fade, which is very scary.
Right.
But on the other side, if you run a race pad, you don't have the heat built into it to get that friction up.
That first stop is scary.
Yeah, so you go to hit the pedal coming out of your neighborhood and it's just soft and just keep on going. So you want to get a good compound that's sort of right in the middle. So we went with Hawk Performance. Now they have their HPS, so this is their high performance street. Now this is a ferrocarbon material. Now I'm going to go ahead and put my little shim plate on the back. I'm going to put a little looby lube. You can see where the contact is with the pistons. And this is going to be a good pad so you've got full-on street driving, but you got the confidence when you're on the track that you're not going to have those fade conditions. Pick up a lot of coefficient of friction so you can get like 20 to 40% more bite. So let me get this guy lubed up.
Man. Some DBA rotors, some Hawk pads. This car's going to be set up and biting.
If you think you have a bad or clogged fuel injector, check for black smoke coming out of the tailpipe. Also, take a look at your oil level and make sure it doesn't start getting higher as fuel starts leaking in through a cracked injector. A bad injector can also be noisy and cause increased emissions. Changing your injectors can be a 10 to 12 hour job. If you take it to the dealership, it could cost over $2,000 to get repaired. One way to correct a leaking or clogged injector is by using Rizlone's Fuel Injector Cleaner. This complete fuel system tune-up helps to eliminate noisy injectors and fuel pumps, rough idle, hard starting, and its upper cylinder lubricant formulation will compensate for a lack of lubrication in today's gas and ultra-low sulfur diesel fuels. This tip is brought to you by Rizlone, affordable solutions to expensive automotive repairs.
Hey, welcome back to our serious business, Evo X.
Yeah.
Major upgrades going on. We just knocked out the brakes, and check out the serious rolling stock. This is from DB Motors, the Track Light series. And you can get it all, of course, different sizes, different colors. But this is a sweet set of wheels, but we got to check out the rolling rubber on here. This is the Toyo Proxys T1.
These are
Sports.
wicked, man.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to throw them up here. Why don't you show them where we're at as far as the decision process.
Now this guy has a decision, right? He came in obviously driving his car pretty hard. He's at that pivotal point, that paradigm shift. Do I want to go all out and throw a big nasty turbo like this one from Force Performance? Or do I want to keep it streetable, stay around the 350, 400 horsepower range? Tough decision, but some things to think about, all right? If you upgraded it to a big turbo, you would need something like this. All right, from PTP, it's a turbo blanket. It's actually called the Turbo Lava Blanket, so you know they're serious. Now what this is gonna do is protect that heat, keep that hot side hot, but protect other components underneath the hood as well, like wiring, plastic, and so forth. Because these turbos generate a massive amount of heat. And the bigger you go, more heat you have, more things start melting, more points of failure. All right, and along with keeping that hot side hot, all right, this PTP Lava Turbo Blanket is gonna keep the cool side cool, and that's important. Why? Because the cooler the air, the more dense it is. And the denser the air you get in that cylinder, higher cylinder pressure, that means more power. That's a green thumbs up for a full-on throttle. So there you go, PTP Lava Thermal Blanket, and they had the heat shrink, the heat wrap as well. I love this stuff, man. I put it on a lot of my headers and so forth, but it again is a heat protectant. It's gonna keep heat away from wires and plastic components under your hood.
Dude, I'm digging those track light wheels.
Yeah.
Pretty sweet. I
Those
like
are
the 10
sweet, man.
spokes. Really gonna make this car look unique.
Yeah.
Which I dig. Now, that might be a tough decision, because that's some serious commitment. You're fabricating a lot of parts. You're going full on race, but this one's easy. He's got a smoked clutch.
Yeah, it's
so
toast.
we know we gotta replace it.
Yeah.
So we picked up one from Clutch Masters, the FX400.
Okay.
Now what's nice about this one is it's a performance upgrade, right?
All right.
It's following right along with what we're doing. The fulcrum's been re-engineered, so we got better clamping force. Nice. It's still, when we look on the inside, it's got a sprung hub, so it's gonna be nice and drivable, but we got some special ceramic pads, so it's gonna be super durable.
So we give you a good bite.
Yeah, and what's a little bit trick is finding that balance. So this is a lightweight steel flywheel on here, but it's only about 6% lighter on the rotational mass, so you're gonna pick up a little bit more, acceleration on the engine, but you're not gonna get a whole lot of drive line, bucking and jerking and hard launches. So it's a great way for us to upgrade this guy with the Clutch Masters clutch, but without going full on commitment to the race side over there.
Yeah.
So
You'll have fun with that though.
all right, well, that's about it, man. I'm gonna torque some wheels,
Okay.
get this sucker on the ground. Well, you know what, man? We got a big job ahead of us.
Yeah, no.
I was hoping.
I know. You're hoping for some all-wheel drive burnouts.
We're gonna have to run. We got a big job ahead of us left.
Oh boy.
Many factory vehicles like the Chevy Silverado and Sierra leave the dealership with chrome door handles but a black plastic tailgate handle and bezel. Now, Dorman makes it easy for you to replace your standard handle and bezel with new chrome door handles for a complete chrome look. Not only do the new chrome handles enhance the look of your vehicle, they also offer 3 layers of chrome for added durability that will hold up to the elements. In addition to chrome handles, Dorman offers replacement solutions for exterior and interior handles, tailgate handles, and even door handle replacement kits for almost every vehicle and truck on the road today. This tech tip is brought to you by Brenton Productions, the leader in new-to-the-aftermarket product solutions.
Hey, welcome back. All right, now go into any machine shop, say you got a stock LS1. What do you got to do to handle a lot of boost? They're going to tell you to put ARP rod bolts in it and get yourself a head stud kit.
Now these are available in the 8740 ARP 2000.
Yeah.
So different materials that you can get depending on your application, from 200,000 to 260,000 PSI. Unbelievable strength, way superior to the torque deal bolts you'll get in your factory engine.
Yeah, man. Now let's say you want to dress up your motor. These engine accessory kits will dress up your motor and anything you drive with it.
It's really cool because everything's labeled, because they're different sizes. And so bang, you just, boop, this is my water pump, this is my alternator. You got the black oxide finish, you got the fully polished stainless steel, you got 6-point, 12-point, you got lots of choices for exactly what you want to do. Make your ride last long, hold together, and look good. Get yourself a kit from ARP.
All right, guys, here's a cool way to trick out your truck from LMC Truck. It's their stainless steel radiator overflow tank. Kind of sweet.
Yeah, there's a lot of reasons why you want one of these on your car.
Dogs.
Yeah, dogs love coolant, but it's deadly.
Yeah, man.
It's bad for the environment, and you get some on your driveway, you're, whoop, boom, you are on your tailbone, man. So make your truck look cool. Make sure your engine doesn't run low on coolant. Check this out. It's got a stainless top. It's got all your ins and outs.
Easy brackets here, man.
Yep.
Simple to put in, and it looks cool.
One of the 30,000 parts you can check out at LMC Truck. Get online, get yourself a free catalog. Shop to your heart's content. Make your truck even cooler. All right, you've got some really cool classic car, you've got an exotic, you've got something you spent a lot of time and money on, but you go to your regular Joe Blow insurance guy and he has no idea how to handle it. Check out Condon Skelly.
Yeah, man, it's an agreed value insurance. You tell them basically what you feel like your vehicle's worth. And they got the fastest website. You answer 4 questions under 20 seconds, you could be well on your way to a great insurance plan.
Yeah, they've been around since 1967. They've got very helpful, very knowledgeable people on the phone that can help you get through a policy, or check out that same service online to really speed your way up to getting out on the road and enjoying your ride, or making sure your collectible is nice and safe and protected.
And they have options for unlimited mileage as well. So check them out, Condon Skelly Insurance.
It's from Grody. Now this is a real high intensity strobe LED. Now you can surface mount them, or you can tuck them in, like I said, whether it's in your headlight bezels, your taillights, or your side markers, and it's all about safety. Now you can synchronize these with a 25 different sort of patterns of flash. So depending on, if it's in a super emergency situation or an awareness situation, and you can get them to, flash alternately or all together. So it's a great way to outfit your safety rig for whatever you're doing, working on the side of the road, get that, visibility from oncoming people, from vehicles, and you name it.
Or if you just wanted to do the robot.
I like the robot, and I like that disco on the side of the road. These are from Grody. You can pick them up at your Federated Auto Parts.
Yeah, man. And how about that Evo, right? Did some cool stuff to it today. Now for a rally car, that thing's bad, man.
Yeah, well, we're like a couple stages going to a full-on World Rally Car Championship.
No.
Maybe not. But we're gonna go have some fun with that thing. So anyway, we're out of time with it. We'll keep tinkering. You guys keep watching.